Greetings, 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 one and all. This your brethren Shaka. So, you tell me now, wow, give me a look of music and look a thing going on here. I've been listening to my man Tyreek. They try to take Professor Black Truth off. See, you know when you're doing something right when they try to literally take you off and censor you and all that, you know, and he being intelligent, I knew he was gonna find his way back on because I knew he was gonna challenge those idiots. But imagine that, man. Just imagine the fact that they actually took the brother off, man. You know what I mean? So, you know, and I don't own the rights to none of this music in the background y'all hear. You know? But just imagine that. You know? But beyond that, man, there's so much going on, man. I'm just gonna fly off the head. I'm in my favorite park, y'all. Y'all gonna see all kind of wild angles. I'll be getting up and moving around, and you know. I'm in my favorite park, Anna, aka Anacostia, over here in the greater southeast area. You know what I mean? Which is probably one of the most beautiful parks in the city. You know, one of the few that has water around it besides Haynes Point and some parts of Rock Creek Park. So, you know. But yeah, man, you know, I guess, you know, you can shoot a brother 60 times dead who's running away from you. If he popped one shot or not, you know what I mean? You can shoot him. You can shoot him 60 times, you know, with what is it, 90 attempts? Boy. 90 times, man. They try to, you know, put 90 bullets in this dude, man. That is, like Tyreek said, that's just hate, man. That's just hate. That's like, you see something you hate, and he's like, die, pow, you know, die, you know? That's what that is, man. You know? Oh, but wait. The Lily White Putian with the mass shootings, though, he's laid down gently on the ground and taken in with no hostility postures from none of the officers. The dog even sitting there looking. The dog sitting there looking like this. You know, the dog. Y'all look at that shit. The dog, I swear to God, the dog sitting there doing like this here. The dog looking like, nigga, what you doing getting caught? But you know, that's how that goes. You know, we get treated like some complete shit. we get slaughtered like that. Damn, not even in a slaughterhouse, like St. Valentine's Day Massacre. Shoot that motherfucker a million times. White man does a mass shooting. Okay, be kidding. Now, guy, why did you, now, look here. You guys be careful with him now. Hold on, wait a minute. Just lay him down gently. Now, we're gonna ask you a few questions. Hey, somebody go to Burger King and grab this guy a couple of burgers, some fries, get a shake with it. Okay, we're gonna go down to the interrogating room now. This is what the treatment of the white people get, man. Mass shootings, you know? So, you know, black people, you all really gotta start, you know, mobilizing yourselves to petitioning a lot of your politicians, and you know, we're not talking about your, yeah, I'm fiddling with my head as always. We're not talking about your you know, local. We're talking about your, you know, your state representatives and stuff like that. Y'all gotta start filling them phones up, man, because you know, we black people, we really do need a federal protection order. Like I say, we should be like under the endangered species category, like a damn bald eagle and a loon duck, you know, see what I'm saying? So we're the only group of people, you know, that just get blasted down in the streets and nothing is done about it. And it's now becoming all too common and all too regular because, you know, you see it happening now almost every other, you know, weekend. Excuse me, y'all. You see it happening now almost every other weekend now, you know? Every other weekend, you know, as that Friday comes in or that Monday, that Friday comes in as the weekend in, you hear about that Monday morning, oh, there's been a mass shooting, you know? And it's sad to see that situation, you know? But, you know, also, you know, we gotta realize that we just gotta kind of disconnect ourselves from this shitstem. This is a shitstem. It's not a system, it's called a shitstem. We gotta disconnect ourselves from this shitstem that we're in, you know? And it starts by you brothers and sisters, you know, we're probably the most patriotic people in this country, black people. Because, you know, we celebrate hard, but y'all gotta remember, what are you celebrating? They're celebrating freedom. Well, what freedom have you ever had in this country that you're celebrating about? Somebody please explain that and help me. You know, because I think we've been oppressed in this country ever since this country has been a wilderness. And as Black Professor Truth said, we hewed cities and states and made a country out of the wilderness that existed here. That now everybody, every foreigner, every immigrant that comes here can, you know, enjoy and benefit from the fruits of our labor, from the hewing of this wilderness into a country, which is cities, states, you know what I mean? And, you know, if we didn't come and hew this out of this wilderness, of this raw wilderness, then would people want to be coming here in this raw wilderness? Would they be making all these claims to this so-called raw wilderness if we had never hewed out a country of this wilderness? So I don't know what you Negroes are celebrating, because you hewing out this damn wilderness into a country never benefited you ever. It never put money in your pocket. It never retributed you to a stature of prominence or equal footing with all the immigrants that I'm sitting here looking at right now that's cleaning up the park that I grew up in. Now I'm looking at a bunch of immigrants right now. I don't see no foundational Black Americans out here at all doing the cleaning of this park. You know? Everybody who's cleaning this park right now is an immigrant. They're all behind me. See them? That's the immigrant. There's another one over there. There's two of them over there. All these people are immigrants that are picking up the trash in the park. You know? And what killed me is, how is it that everybody that worked for this park service is all of a sudden an immigrant, and the Black people that are going around here looking for jobs, you know, can't seem to never get none of these jobs? You know why? Because they place these immigrants over you. They open up avenues to make sure these immigrants have to keep employed. They take away those jobs from you to get to them. They claim we don't want to do these jobs. No, that's bullshit. I see brothers and sisters walking around here with the little city jobs, sweeping on the streets and whatnot, but I don't see them with these park service jobs. And don't you ever have to question yourself as to where all those immigrants just all of a sudden come from? When you come from a city and see how the city's demographics was, now all of a sudden that everything that works in the city is immigrant. Don't that ever make you question that? Like, where all these immigrants come from all of a sudden? Half of them, you even like, do you even have a green card? And if you have a green card, how did you get the green card so fast? There wasn't that many of you immigrants in this city, not even 5 years ago. So when you see this, you have to say to yourself, you know what I mean? Damn, you know, how the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Well, how the fuck is that? Is that it's your government. Your government allowed these immigrants in for numbers, particularly the Democrats. Or as my first wife says, she says the Democrats. think I like her name, Democrats, more than Democrats, because these people are demons. Anytime you want to, you know, usher in, you know, legalization of child, here you go, Poppy. Come on and do your job, Poppy. Don't worry about what I'm talking about. I'm just talking the truth, you know what I mean? Do your job, though. But yeah, you know, they usher in, they are Democrats, because anytime you have a people that's trying to usher in along beside with all this pushing of the LGBT community, now they want to usher in shit like legalization of child pedophilia, you know, like pedophilia, like they looking at pedophilia like how you look at homosexuality. Do your research, Google that. You got people arguing this shit on Congress and everything. You got people already arguing this shit already, man. So you gotta really look into that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really look into that. You know, you gotta, you know, see what's going on out here. You know, they're trying to have it where as though a grown man like me can come up to you and see your little 8-year-old, your 4-year-old. They talking about as young as preschool and all that. They talking about being your child's boyfriend or girlfriend as young as them being like 3 and 4 years old. Imagine someone coming up to you, asking you, will you allow, or do you mind them becoming an intimate friend of your child? Man, look, I would just get on the phone and call somebody, look, come get my baby. I'm about to go to jail. You know, come get the child. There's a man sitting here asking me, can he date my 5-year-old son? Come pick him up. I'm right here. Because I'm going to keep him here long as possible and talk with him until you come get the child, and I'm going to leave him standing where I'm going to leave him laying where he's standing. Straight up. They don't need to fuck him up right then and there, because you fuck him up right then and there, then you really fuck yourself up. Because then they'll be like, well, you see, this is why I need to be a friend of his child, because look how he is. His father is very valid. These black men, you see, these lily white puces love to use that aggression against us. So you have to be wise about that aggression, you know. So make sure your child, if you must get, you know, physical and use aggression, to make sure your child is out of harm's way and in the hands of safety of a relative or someone you love. You know what I mean? But this is the Democrat Party. You know, they are ushering in everything that they know that will work against foundational Black Americans by way of trying to replace us with all these immigrants you see in the background. Not a black man in sight. Not one black man. It's like, isn't that illegal to just hire all one set of people, I thought? But then this heifer that's trying to run back for mayor in our city named Muriel Bowser, that bitch ain't shit. So any of my DC people, hey, Trayon White ain't a motherfucking thing either. I don't know who this motherfucking Robert White is, so god damn, who the fuck do we got to choose from? I guess we just go and deal with Trayon, you know? The reason why I say Trayon, because at least he's from the hood. He you know, he grew up in the hood, and he came back to the hood and took over the war that Marion Barry took over, and I give him those credits, but I haven't seen any other more accreditation I can say about the brother as far as him bringing in an influence of Black culture and Black wealth in our communities again. I do see the influence of regentrification in our community that was never seen before in the greater Southeast area, which was mostly the blackest area and always had been that way, even though all of DC was black, but the greater Southeast was the blackest area in DC. So I don't see Trayon White doing anything really that elevates that blackness in the greater Southeast by way of economical wealth for Black people who are native Black people. I ain't talking about the immigrants, I'm talking about the people who are born here, native in DC. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, other than that, out the 3 damn mice, I would have to take Trayvon White. You know what I mean? Not Trayon, but Trayvon. So I had to take Trayvon White. And, you know, but Muriel Bowser, you know, she's first of all, she's a gay woman, so she's all for the LGBT shit. That woman spent millions and millions on this shame parade that just went on with the LGBT community, because there ain't nothing prideful about it. It's all shameful. You know, that big shame parade, grown man walking around you know, with dick suits on in front of children. And for those who took their children down there, those people are sickos because they're trying to indoctrinate their children into that bullshit. So everybody be wilding because, oh, they got women and men walking around with big vagina and dick suits on and naked out there with their titties and their ass out, and men walking around with thongs and shit on. You know what I mean? Those who brought their children there, that's them trying to emancipate their children into that lifestyle. You know, acclimate them to it, if you will. You know what I mean? Introduce them in a cold, hard way, you know, by letting them see the rawness of that lifestyle. So, you know what I mean? I find, you know, that those who allowed their children to go down to the shame parade, they were a part of this whole LGBT progressive movement in trying to push its agenda on the masses of the people in the world. So, you know, if you've seen children at the LGBT movement, it's those sick people who are trying to acclimate their children to that lifestyle so they can grow up and be sick people as well. So, you know what I mean? You know, Meryl Bowser, she gets no love from me because, you know, not only is she LGBT, she's all for white mommy and white zaddy. You know, only time she comes out when some real bullshit happened in our neighborhood because of the degradation and the lack of financial growth that could go on in our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And it's just that, you know, she's all for gentrification and all for corporatizing DC. She took what Marion Barry was trying to do, but went a whole nother direction and went tenfold with it. Marion Barry was trying to change DC from a metropolitan to a cosmopolitan. That it is now a cosmopolitan city, but the cosmopolitan city was a deal with that, meaning that a lot of your corporations and organizations that came here had to give a certain percentage of jobs, and I ain't talking about a low percentage, I'm talking like 25%, 30% jobs to the native people of the city. Notice I say native. He made sure he said native. He didn't say, oh, just to the black people of the city, you know, because you say black people, then you got an immigrant that moved here a couple of years ago, and he's got his green card now, and he's a DC resident, so now, okay, he black, he can get that shit too. No, Marion Barry, see, he knew what he was doing. He stipulated, and he, you know, that you had to be a native of the city, native. You know what I mean? Meaning born here, raised here. So most likely, if you're born and raised in DC, you know what I mean, you are a foundational black American. Yes, you could have some immigrants that had children that were born and raised here and still fit in with that. So be it. You know, on that level, we can't really fight and go sift through all that. But, you know, as a whole, we knew that what he was standing for, foundational black American natives of DC. And that's what they didn't like about Marion Barry, because he made sure he had those stipulations where those summer jobs were given out every year, where if a big corporation builds some buildings in DC, that they had to employ 25% of the employment in that building had to be DC native people. But this bitch in office now, oh, it's none of that, and that's none of that in her clauses. But she talking about she don't woggle with shit. Bitch, no, you woggle and wiggle and wobble. Bitch, you do it all. I don't woggle with shit. No, you woggle, wiggle, and wobble, bitch. You like this here. You like this here, bitch. You like this here. For every, you know, but, you know, you ain't that for us. You know what I mean? You come look at DC. DC is a super beautiful city now. This is a new motherfucking New York City. Because unlike New York, you still got a super duper black area. You know, you have to really look hard to find super black areas in New York again. You know what I'm saying? If it ain't the hood, you know what I'm saying? But here you still got a super black area with all that gentrification going on around it. The brothers and sisters ain't leaving. You know what I mean? A lot of brothers and sisters still own their homes. And I hope they be smart and not sell out just because you see a little small bag that you think is a big bag, and that bag be gone within 2 years, and your ass living in somebody's apartment, and you had a house, dumbass. You know? So we gotta really wake up, man. We gotta, you know, stop all this cooning out here now, man. Because if y'all don't realize they out there on you, and I always warn y'all about all this celebrating and jumping up and down, you know what I mean, with your Scott Joplin jumping, you know, ragtime band jig dancing asses out here. You know, what the hell are y'all sitting there celebrating? You fools spend hundreds and thousands to millions of dollars. If you look at all the blacks around the United States, the firecracker companies love your black ass more than they love the white people, because they know white people aren't coming out there buying fireworks like that. They go to fireworks shows. See, unlike you niggas, the white people, they go to see the firework displays at Rockefeller Center and over at Chelsea Piers, where they can see it, you know, more clearly. You know what I mean? They go to the different places to see these firework displays down there at the Landings in Jacksonville, Florida, and you know what I mean? A lot of places around the Queen City, you know, they have it downtown, and they go to see these firework displays down there, you know, town Raleigh and, you know what I mean, Atlanta, Georgia, and, you know what I'm saying, up in, you know, in New York, you know what I mean? They go to these firework displays, even in little small towns, you know, Farmburg, goddamn Missouri. They go there and see the little firework display out there in the middle of the field of Farmburg, Missouri. You know what I mean? They go see the display. You niggas, y'all go and buy and y'all have display. And it be one of the most beautiful displays because, you know, the real show starts when the monument ends, and those who are living across the bridge of Southeast DC, they get a beautiful display of fireworks all the way from Maryland to the further extents of Northeast, all the way to the further extents of Southeast before you cross the Woodrow Wilson Bridge. Those white folks get to see a beautiful display because you niggas spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in your respective cities, if not millions, on some of the most elaborate fireworks. You know what I mean? I got a play sister, she does it every year. You know what I mean? And I you know, it's fun, it's cool. You know what I mean? Now, would I spend that kind of money? No. But, you know, and believe it or not, that's her little fun. I'm not talking about my play sister so much, my surrogate sister so much, because she retired and she got that money. You know what I mean? And, you know, she can do it like, she actually, with her, it's different for her. She's playing war. She playing war. She let the Negroes shoot and do their little thing. Then she'll go out there in one of them big old boxes, and while they thinking they did something, and she'll light that thing up and just shut their show on down, you know. You know, so she, I call it the auxiliary getting the infantry together for another strike. That's what I call it. You know, I was out there with them last night, so you might have saw me posted up on Facebook. You know what I mean? With her, it's more, you know, of a competition. You know what I mean? And with a lot of niggas, I think it is too. But a lot of niggas know that they really out here on that coon shit, celebrating the 4th of July like as if we had some connection with the freedoms of this country, where foundational black Americans have no fucking connection with no freedom of this country, because we were never given the equal financial opportunity to be free with this country after we built this bitch for free. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see why you niggas out there celebrating some motherfucking 4th of July. Because you want to keep it, it's called 4th of July. You lied to us. You know what I mean? It's called 4th of July, you know? Because you promised us reparations, you promised us a whole lot of shit, but you ain't never come through with none of the shit you supposed to do for us. You lied to us. That fake ass executive order for some crime bill. That old decrepit crypt keeper gonna fucking tell America and the black world, I'm signing an executive order for the police. Man, bullshit. That shit was a federal executive order. That shit only deals with federal cops. That shit ain't got shit to do with the fucking regular city and local police departments and state police departments. That's federal shit. That's federal. Fuck has that got to do with us? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. We don't get nothing out of that. Sorry, I told y'all gonna have wild camera angles. I'm, you know, holding the camera in my hand this time, catch. Y'all, excuse me. I was chatting, it's a bit much. I have to go ahead and it's wet in my throat because I was a bit parched. And I was smoking that reefer too. So yeah, man. You know, I just don't get it. You know what I mean? The fuck is wrong with, you know, at this point, man, anybody vote for the Democrat the demon cracks. We're gonna call them the demon cracks. Cause, you know, they like giving out crack pipes and stems and shit like that. They give, you know, that old coon gave out a whole fucking get high kit. But as I digress. So he lied to you all, you know, like he doing something, man. All that dude do, man, is lie to us, then turn around and say, it's the black vote that saved me, and I got your back. Yeah, he do. With a hard, stiff dick, and he ain't putting no grease on it, too. He gonna wanna ram that thing raw dog. Fuck the grease. You can at least grease a nigga's ass. Damn. That way it won't hurt so much as some of them will bitch you. But no, you keep fucking us up the ass, and then licking, and then turn around, and then flicking you, and then throwing your thumb up at us like fuck you. You know what I mean? It's giving us the middle finger. You just fuck black people all the way around. And Biden is showing you dumbass motherfuckers. Like I see at this point, it's only these goddamn old coons out here, these old Negroes that's looking to be accepted by white society because they knew that was their whole quest in their fight after they, you know, realized that, oh, Lyndon B. Johnson went ahead and signed that bill. He signed that bill because police and crackers was getting their asses annihilated. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas was out there just annihilating them. And he got tired of white folk and police chiefs and police precincts getting bombed up around America. See, y'all black folks better start y'all more coonish now than they were back then. Y'all got more technology and more firepower than you do now than you had back then. And y'all are so cooned out now. Scared. Y'all niggas is straight off the plantation. Oh, wait a minute, watch it. Wait a minute. Massa might see us. Shh, we'll be quiet. Y'all niggas are the worst. Y'all hear Massa come and be ready to jump in the ocean. What's wrong with y'all? Although that's a river. That'd be the Anacostia River right there. Tributary to Potomac. Tributary to the Potomac, the Atlantic. So, you know what I'm saying? You know, we got to stop acting like that we don't realize what's happening with us. How much more regular do they have to kill us? How much more regular does Joe Biden have to continue to pay us absolutely no attention? How much more regular do he have to look in our faces and lie and do nothing for us? Anybody who's trying to sell you on anything Democratic or Republican or don't have your interests at hand, if they're not talking about generational wealth, reparations, intangibles in the form of housing grants, land grants, tax breaks, such and such and such, a lot of goodies that a lot of these people come over here and get. Mugs come over here in 1 month and they're sitting back establishing stores, got brand new vans with the racks on them, fresh brand new ladders and all kind of equipment to go and do their works with the business loco LLC, and they don't even know how to read and fucking speak English. This ain't by happenstance, and hell no. I don't want to hear that bullshit. Oh, he might be coming from some money from Mexico. Nigga ain't had 2 pesos to rub down there. And hell no, he wasn't part of no cartel family neither. I ain't trying to hear that. Because America will be all over that. That's the last thing America want. Although he letting a lot of cartel motherfuckers over here though. You know, with all that letting niggas go through the border, there's a whole lot of motherfucking cartel coming through that shit. You can believe that. Oh, they got cartel look lame as hell. Look, this is as lame as hell. That nigga done murdered 1 million people. Done sold over a ton of crack. Probably got trucks of fentanyl coming in your country while he's sitting in the line trying to get across the border. Knowing he gonna get there, just, you know what I mean. And he get here, America get him more money. Establish him in your neighborhood, black people, where he make money off of you. You're always the financial base for all these immigrant groups, most likely, if you ever stop to think about it. No shade on my Ethiopians that are conscious and righteous, but look how the Ethiopians dominate the marijuana dispensaries and deliveries here in DC. Almost every marijuana dispensary and delivery I would say, I mean, honestly, I would say 70% of the marijuana dispensaries and delivery service here in DC are owned by Ethiopians. The Ethiopians own majority of the marijuana dispensaries besides the white people. You might have a speckling of Latino that own it, but majority of them are Ethiopian. And that is not just by chance. That is by part of Muriel Bowser being down with the Democratic Party and continue with the manifest of the agenda. The manifest says in your city, there's a lot of marijuana smokers there, and most of them are white. Trust me, I know. I ain't gonna tell you why I know, but I know. I know personally, up close and personal. I know. And it's none of your business how I know. But I know. Majority of people are white who are buying the weed here in DC. You're delivering places like way over Cathedral Avenue, you know, the 4200 block of this shit in DC. And for those of you who know DC, that's another world. That's another world. That's a world where you don't even hardly see black people over there. I'm gonna be honest, God, with you. You'll see foreigners like Armenians and Scandinavian and Paraguay and, you know, weird name people over there, for real. It ain't your average lalas. It ain't your average white people neither. You got your average white there, but you got a lot of, you know, Uruguay and you know, Portuguese whites, you know, and they're buying most of the weed. And, you know, so, but they're targeting the black community because, you know, the black community is a big weed smoker. I've been smoking weed since I was 12 years old, you know. Lord willing, on July 9th, I'll be 58. So I've been smoking ganja for a long time, you know, and, you know, so a lot of these people, you know, like myself who are older, we smoke. There's probably millions of us who are around my age or older who smoke, but we know how to administer it to ourselves now. You know, we just don't be smoking. I've been sitting here talking to y'all the whole time and you ain't seen me light the spliff yet. Because right now it's not warranted to light the spliff. You know what I mean? And if I light it, then it's warranted for me to light it. But do you see my mannerisms and my ways, acting like I'm gonna turn into that guy on Bugs Bunny, the little innocent rabbit? He turns to this crazy rabbit, or the little innocent man, and he turns to this crazy man, and when Bugs turns around, he turns back to the regular man. You know? But they want you to think that, you know, it's all the black community just smoking weed, sitting around, burning weed. And I'm gonna tell you, when it comes to the white community too, y'all, these ain't just young people. The majority of people I have come in contact with, I've seen through my travels, you know, are older white people. And white people that are around my age and in their mid 30s and stuff like that. And I'm talking that regular old white girl that you see that works in the job right next to you, that, you know, that lives in one of these fancy areas off 20th Street, off of Connecticut Avenue and all that. You know what I mean? All up in those areas there. Well, you gotta have money to live in. That one bedroom will cost your ass like $2,000. It'd be these girls, it'd be these guys, that the ones who are smoking all this weed. But they'll want you to think there's a bunch of black people. No. But I know one thing, it's the Ethiopians who dominates the majority of the weed dispensaries. So, you know, they're finding ways in our communities to set up immigrants and finding avenues to make sure they are employed, and then employment is almost if you will, a permanent foundation type of employment for them. It's a market even, you know. They find markets in our neighborhood, and then they place these immigrants in our neighborhood that they can make money off of that market in our neighborhood. You know, but yet me and you try to go and get licenses to do that as foundational black Americans. How you doing, sister? They'll try to, you know, give us the third degree. They'll run us through all the rigmarole. But the immigrant now, not only will he get carte blanche, he'll get the money to do it and everything. You know what I mean? They'll give him the startup capital. You know what I'm saying? They'll give him a grant for the building, so he ain't got to pay a dime for that. They'll give him, and not only the grant for the building will also have some grant money in there to for him to start construction, and it'll probably cover all this construction and restoration of the building to get it ready for his business. This is what they do for the immigrants, but for me and you now, we get nothing. We get Joe Biden telling us, "I got your back. The black vote, the black community had my back, and I got your back." Lying motherfucker. So with that being said, man, if I have more on my mind, I'll come back on and I'll chat some more. But this is your brother, Shaka Ben Judah. This has been another edition of Black Issues. Y'all stay safe. Keep your head on the swivel. Rastafari.